Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing superb. Today we are going to work on this 9-drawer dresser that I found on Facebook Marketplace. So grab your tea, coffee, drink, whatever you're drinking, and let's get right on to this flip. Is the dresser I am working with. I wish I had more pictures, but I honestly didn't think to take more. I'm also going to be giving you guys my little opinion on some new products from Lilly Moon. This is totally not sponsored, but Yadi, if you want to sponsor me, I am not opposed. But I just wanted to give you guys an opinion, just from like a normal home body flipper and I don't know, I like to hear people's opinions on new products. So I'm actually first going in with Lilly Moon's furniture prep. This is a odorless cleaner and it's supposed to be residue free. I'm gonna tell you guys straight off the bat that the spray bottle that I put it in was not working. So the little mixture concoction that I had made with the small part of the cleaner and the water just didn't work. So I had to dump it in a bucket. So that's user error, not maker error. But guys, I used a brand new white rag. I always like using white rags just to see. I'm a weirdo. I like to see how much dirt comes off of things. And this cleaner is amazing. I don't know if you guys can see the dirt and grime that I'm getting off of this dresser. It was kind of gross, but kind of like cool at the same time because I'm a freak. So even though I had a strange ratio of cleaner to water, this has actually been the best cleaner I've used in a while. I normally use like TSP, or I really like using Dawn dish soap just because my girls love cleaning and I don't want them to be exposed to the TSP all the time. But with the odorless prep, furniture prep from Lilly Moon, I didn't feel like my girls were gonna be exposed to anything. So I did let them wipe down, not on camera, but wipe with it, and I felt safe with that. And the wipe back, I did go back over everything just because I'm a Debbie Dowder, and I wiped through. See, there's nothing coming off of this dresser, guys. It's so amazing and I highly recommend it. It's not that much money. I will link it down below just so you guys can give it a try yourself. I highly recommend this product. So a little backstory on this piece. I found this off of Facebook Marketplace. It was listed for free, guys. And the reason I picked this up, it's been kind of difficult for me to pick up pieces because I have the girls during the day a lot more. When Chad's working day shifts, it's easier for me to pick up pieces, but when he's working night shifts, it's pretty much impossible unless it's smaller things. But this was right across the street, so I kind of threw the girls on Chad and ran across the street, and it took me 20 minutes to pick this up because it was super heavy. I did move it myself. I had like a dolly and everything, but it was weird because the top is laminate, but everything is like solid wood. So I'm confused slightly. Either way, it was a beautiful dresser. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this piece. And I knew going into it, like exactly what I wanted to do. And there was one part that I didn't know I was going to do, and I didn't figure that out until I started cleaning the base of this more. The top was in great condition. The drawers were all perfect condition, but the bottom portion of this had some sort of water damage on the base. So later on I'll show you what I did, but I wasn't planning on doing what I did, guys. It was a total luck of the draw, and it was kind of like a good thing, kind of not fun thing. Like, I'd always been wanting to try this, but it wasn't on my agenda for this piece. So this piece actually had come from like a senior living area across the street, which this whole time that I've lived in this area, or where I live, I thought it was a hotel, but it wasn't. But even though it was in a senior community, this piece was so gross, so dusty, so full of like, I don't know, cobwebs, spider eggs on the bottom for sure. It was just a lot. So at this stage, I thought I could wood fill all of the damaged veneer at the base of this. The base was made of actual particle board. It had some peeling veneer coming off, and it just was a hot mess. And I thought I could go in with some wood filler in the biggest cracks and crevices and just sand down whatever I couldn't fix, but that's not what ended up happening. I hated the way the base looked after I filled it, and I will never do that again. And I actually ended up cutting it off and making a new base. I took this opportunity to try out making the DIY wife's dresser base or whatever, and guys, that was not easy. It was actually really difficult. I don't know, maybe it's just because I was doing it wrong or what. I just had a hard time, and I actually tried to take off my finger with my jig bit, and but I'm so happy with the way it came out, and I'm glad that all the work. So before I got into the base making mess, I actually wanted to get my painting done, so I scuff sanded everything with a 180 grit paper. And here's my little helper. Emma has become quite the little furniture flipping aficionado. She is actually better than I am now. Or she thinks she is. But it's really fun to get the kids involved and have their little input and 2 cents. It's really funny, and they definitely lift my spirits when a project isn't going as smooth as I'd like it to. So now I am going in with my Zinsser 123 primer. This is actually the one and only primer I've used so far, and I love it, guys. That's why I only use this one, because I feel like it gives me a smooth finish every single time and very little bleed through. I always do 2 coats just to be sure, but I just am so happy with the way this comes out. So after spraying 2 coats, I realized that a little bug had landed on the top, which is the part that I, of course, want the smoothest. So trick is, wait till everything dries completely and then come back through and sand it with a fine grit sandpaper. I like to use like a 400 grit because I feel like that gives me the smoothest, almost factory finish look that I go for. Alright guys, so after a lot of thinking and consulting some Instagram story friends, I ended up choosing this beautiful color, Warm Sienna by Lilly Moon. I think this is the perfect orange tone for this dresser. It gave me definite mid-century vibes, and I just thought it was the way to go. It was between this and a green, because I feel like the green I had was also an MCM vibe, but I don't know, the orange just was calling to me, and I love this color so much. Unfortunately, this is also where things started going sideways, because I had a 16-ounce jar of this paint, and I had previously used some of this paint on a little tiny nightstand, and I thought I would have enough for this whole dresser, even after using some of that 16-ounce jar. But I didn't have enough, guys. I was so bummed, and I was so frantic to find something to work and go with this orange, because the orange was staying. It wasn't going anywhere. So I actually went to Home Depot and color matched this as best as I could, and I ended up choosing the color Maple Glaze and just having them mix it up in a chalk paint formula, and I think I nailed it with the color choicing. So I first started out hand painting because I wanted to see how far I could stretch the Lilly Moon paint. And after realizing I didn't have enough, I later on go and spray paint the Behr over it. Guys, I barely sprayed any of the Behr paint. It was very minimal because the Lilly Moon has such good coverage, but I could see some of my primer, and I just didn't want to leave it like that. So there's my logic. Yeah. So after waiting for the paint to dry, I went back over it again with a 600 grit this time, sandpaper, just to smooth out and give it that factory finish that I love. And I actually came in with another new product. I will also link it down below. This is Lilly Moon's top coat, and they describe it as a sheen, not exactly a satin finish or a gloss finish, and that's actually hitting the nail on the head with description, because it is so beautiful. Now here's also another user error moment. So I'm still learning my spray gun settings. So When I had sprayed it, I sprayed it way too heavy. This is a very light top coat, guys. So my suggestion would to not do what I did and add too much to the piece. I did very thick coats. I would do very thin coats, and potentially next time I might even brush it on instead of spraying it, just because this is a very thin formula, and I think it's geared more towards painting it on by hand than spray gun. Don't quote me on that, but that was just from my experience, because I had a lot of sagging, and once again I said that is a user error because I didn't have my settings right, but for future knowledge, I would definitely hand paint this, because I just think that that's the lightness of this formula. So here I'm actually doing one of my favorite stages of any flip, and I'm adding peel and stick wallpaper to the drawers. I feel like it just gives it a little extra pizzazz, and it's a very inexpensive thing to do. I think this wallpaper was maybe $6, and I ended up having to order another roll because I didn't have enough. But so $12 to line all the drawers doesn't sound that bad to me, and it makes them look so nice. And then I'm going in with the Lilly Moon Furniture Balm with the lavender and orange scent, I believe. I will also put that down below, and this smells so refreshing and just calming, and I have been using this on everything, guys. I also made a mistake, and I had left it in the garage, and the time I used it after leaving it in the garage, it had melted. Anaheim gets some really hot weather, so it was melted, and I dunked my cloth in there, and it splashed all over, and I lost a good portion of it, which means I don't have as much to do in the future, because, you know, a little bit of this stuff goes a long, long way. So let's remember what this piece looked like before I even started on it, and let me show you guys how this ended up. This turned out so beautiful that I haven't listed it yet. I've decided to keep it for the meantime. I may change my mind later on down the road, but right now I'm calling it mine and loving it. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up down below. It helps my channel. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too, so you know exactly when I'm uploading a video every Saturday. Until next time, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye!